the council. Can you state your appearance?
Kevin Moss on behalf of Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I'm Judge Jones over at the 8th District Court here in Kalamazoo County. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Can you state your full name for the record?
Nicholas Alexander Johnson.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, you're here today for an arraignment. In this matter, it's alleged that on or about May 18th of 2018, that you were present in the city of Portage, County of Kalamazoo, and the state of Michigan, that on that date, time, and location, as to count 1, that you did murder Bonifacio Pena, contrary to MCL 750.316. That's commonly known as open murder. It's punishable by life in prison, and there's DNA to be taken upon arrest. In count 2, on that same time, date, and location, it's alleged you did carry or have in your possession a firearm, specifically a handgun, at the time that you committed or attempted to commit a felony, specifically open murder, as to count 1. That's contrary to MCL 750.227B. It's commonly known as felony firearm, punishable with 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction in count 1. There's also mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device pursuant to MCL 750.239. In count 3, on that same time, date, and location, it's alleged you did use a firearm when ineligible to do so because you have been convicted of home invasion in the first degree, a specified felony that is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, and that the requirements for regaining eligibility to possess a firearm had not yet been met. That's contrary to MCL 750.224F6. It's known commonly as possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, punishable by up to 5 years in prison, up to a $5,000 fine, and also includes mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device, again under MCL 750.239. In count 4, on that same time, date, and location, it's alleged you did carry or have in your possession a firearm, specifically a pistol, at the time that you committed or attempted to commit a felony, specifically possession of a firearm by a prohibited person in count 3. That's contrary to MCL 750.227B, again known commonly as felony firearm. It's punishable with 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction in count 3. There's also mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device pursuant to MCL 750.239. In count 5, on that same time, date, and location, it's alleged you did carry a dangerous weapon, specifically a pistol, concealed on or about your person, contrary to MCL 750.227. That is a felony known as carrying a concealed weapon. It's punishable by up to 5 years in prison, up to a $2,500 fine, and also includes mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device under MCL 750.239. First, sir, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Not exactly.
Okay, what don't you understand?
Being charged with the weapons charge.
You're being charged in count 1 with open murder. You're being charged in count 2 with felony firearm, meaning that it's alleged that you carried a handgun at the time that you committed open murder. In count 3, it's alleged that you possessed a firearm as a prohibited person or as a felon. In count 4, it's alleged that you carried a firearm while possessing a firearm as a prohibited person or a felon. And in count 5, it's alleged you carried a concealed weapon, specifically a pistol. All 5 of those counts are felonies. Do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yeah.
Do you understand the maximum possible penalty associated with each of those counts?
Yeah.
Do you understand that you have the right to remain silent, that anything you say orally or in writing could be used against you in court?
Yeah.
Do you understand that you have the right to counsel at all proceedings related to this case, including counsel provided to you at public expense if you cannot afford an attorney?
Yes.
I will note for the record that Kalamazoo Defender Incorporated has filed an appearance in this case. They are the attorneys of record in this matter. Additionally, sir, you have statutory rights. You have the right to a probable cause conference within 7 to 14 days of today's date, and a preliminary examination within 5 to 7 days thereafter. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Counsel arguments regarding bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Johnson is currently in NDOC custody at the Ionia Correctional Facility. It's my understanding he will be there for a considerable amount of time, so we would leave bond to the court's discretion.
Thank you. Court considers bond pursuant to MCR 6.106F. I'll note for the record that the prosecuting attorney has submitted a recommendation of a denial of bond in this matter. They've articulated their reasons as well. The court agrees with the recommendation of the prosecuting attorney. The defendant is currently incarcerated with Michigan Department of Corrections for a period of 20 to 69 years for murder in the second degree of each of his parents. That trial, or that plea having been rendered previously in the Ninth Circuit Court. The court specifically identifies the dangerousness of this particular defendant to the community and the seriousness of the charges in terms of denying bond in this case. Again, bond is denied. The matter will proceed next to a pre-exam conference and a preliminary examination. Do we have dates on those?
We do. We've got 24th at 11 in front of us and the exam on October 1st.
Okay, September 24th of 2025 at 11 a.m. Will be the pre-exam conference, and then what was the date for the October 1st of 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Will be the date and time for the preliminary examination, both set back in front of this court. Anything else for the record, counsel?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're all set for today.
Can I talk to my attorney?
Yep. We can put you back into a breakout room here in a moment. The attorney that you speak to today may not be the attorney that represents you ultimately on the case, but we can give you a couple more minutes with the attorney in a breakout room if you wish.